Okay. Councilmember Holliber,
Present.
Councilmember Oliva,
Here.
Councilmember Schneider,
Here.
Vice Mayor Lee,
Here.
Mayor Pappen.
Here.
All council members are present.
Thank you very much. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Well, you guys left off agenda overview. So we have a consent calendar with 2 items on it. Mr. Williams, would you like to announce those, please?
Thank you, Mayor Pappen. Good evening to you and members of the City Council. Tom Williams, City Manager. Item number 1 on the consent calendar is a resolution certifying the results of the November 6, 2018 general municipal election. And that is an action item. Item number 2 is to adopt by motion a waiver of an additional $6,000 in rental and setup and breakdown fees for the use of the Chakotay Room and the Great Room by Self-Help for the Elderly, their lunch program, through June 30th of 2019, commencing on January 2nd of this year, or of 2019, pardon me, in order to expand a senior lunch program for 1 day a week to 3 days a week. And that will be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday that the lunch program will be offered. And that concludes the consent calendar, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Why don't you go over well, why don't we just, we didn't do can you do an overview? Before
Certainly.
we take the motion and move? Thank you.
So a few events coming up of note. The first is the gazebo ribbon cutting, and that will be this Saturday, December 15th. We will host the ribbon cutting and ceremony for the relocation of the gazebo at La Serena Plaza.
Oh, just behind the library.
Behind the library on Millbrae Avenue. The event will start at 3 p.m. And we'll be serving hot chocolates and cookies with entertainment with carolers, and the ribbon cutting will actually take place at 3:30 in the afternoon. So it's open to everyone. Bring your kids. Santa will be there, Mrs. Claus, elves, and also your pets. So we're providing the opportunity to have pictures with Santa Claus and all of your pets. So we hope the community comes out for this wonderful event. Also, Friday night, December 21st, we're showing Elf as our Millbrae Goes to the Movies night. It will take place at St. Dunstan's School Gym, and there will be snacks and games. The festivities begin at 6 p.m., and the movie starts at 6:30 p.m. And again, that's Friday, December 21st, and we'll be showing the movie Elf. Also, the Millbrae Holiday House Decoration Contest. The city wants residents to decorate their homes for the holidays and make Millbrae the merriest city in the Bay. The most festive houses will compete for a $50 gift card to a local business, and residents can participate by taking pictures of their decorated home and emailing them to contest@ci.millbrae.ca.us. Again, contest@ci.millbrae.ca.us. The winner will be chosen on Friday, December 21st. And also, we'd like to bring to your attention the abandoned vehicle hotline. If an abandoned vehicle is parked near your home, please call our Sheriff's Department, the Office of Abandoned Vehicles. The hotline number is 650-794-3120. Again, 650-794-3120. We have this up on the city's website as well as various social media outlets. And with that, Mayor, that concludes tonight's overview.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have 2 items on the consent calendar. Then we get into reorganization of the city council, and then we'll address public comments and adjourn the city council meeting to a reception at the 16 Mile House.
I move the consent calendar.
We have a motion to approve the consent items and a second by Ms. Oliva. Voice vote, please.
Councilmember Holliber,
Aye.
Councilmember Oliva,
Aye.
Councilmember Schneider,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Lee,
Aye.
Mayor Pappen.
Aye.
Items 1 and 2 on the consent calendar passed unanimously.
Thank you very much. Now we move on to welcoming dignitaries. just so everyone knows, we think you're all very, very important. But we have some we have to announce outright here. Former Mayor Janet Fogarty, who's the corresponding secretary of the Millbrae Community Foundation. Lorraine Richardson, President and CEO of the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce. Kathleen Kimura, Vice Chair, Sister Cities Commission. And, okay, I'm going to mess up. Kusura, how do we say her name? Yeah, so, excuse me. The Consul General of Japan is here, and I'm going to let you say your name, sir. Thank you very much. Could you please announce yourself? We are very honored to have you here today, and also that the Deputy Consul General of Japan and the Consul General of Japan, Mr. Kamono. My apologies for the names, but we are very honored to have you both here this evening. Community Enhancement Advisory Committee member Donna Engel. Is Donna here? I didn't see her here. Yeah. Oh. Marlene McBride, Chair of the Senior Advisory Committee. Margaret Fung, Member, Economic Vitality Advisory Committee. John Muniz, President of the Millbrae Historical Society. Richard Holliber, District Board President, Community College Board of Trustees. Maureen Davis, Chair of the Planning Commission. Catherine Quigg, also on the Planning Commission. Former Mayor and Commissioner of Park and Rec, Dan Quigg. Amy Chung, member of the Mayor's Civic Coordinating Council. I apologize for the order. These should be in a different order. Former Mayor Robert Gottschalk. Also, he's the Vice Chair of the Sister Cities Commission. Former Mayor Marge Colapietro. School Board District Trustees, I saw Frank Barbaro and Maggie Muniz. There you go. Maggie's here. Thank you. Mohammed Baloum, Vector Control District Representative. Mimi Lim and Mimi Lee on the Senior Advisory Commission. Roger Louie on the Sister City Commission. Former mayor and our representative was Senator Hill's office, Mark Hirschman. Former mayor, I saw sneak in there, Lou Grassberger. And I saw from our Park and Rec Commission, Dr. Christopher Del Negro. Okay, and I know I'm missing people. I apologize.
Carol Anderson. You got Carol.
Carol? Yes, Carol, thank you for being here. From our Community Enhancement Commission. Oh, Vaughn from the superintendent of our school district, hiding in the back. Okay, who else? Ivan Pang. Sister City. Eunice. Here's Eunice. Thank you.
Oh, you have it.
Okay. Go ahead. Help me out here. If you see somebody. We got, go. Anders Fung is here.
Beth Anderson.
Beth Anderson, too, from our, there you, okay. I can't. Michelle, Rochelle, you can say it? I can't see.
Rochelle Mullen, Senior Advisory
There
Commission.
we go. Okay. Okay. Oh, yes. Vice
And we
Mayor.
also like to thank for the musical entertainment, the director, Mr. Gregoric in the back, Mills High School.
our police chief, Paul Kunkel, back there. And we have a whole nother table over here. I'm going to let you guys all introduce yourselves. Some people wonder. Come on.
Elena Suazo, City Clerk.
Again, Tom Williams, City Manager.
Joan Castman, City Attorney.
Eileen Tran, Management Assistant.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, everyone. We're going to move on now to the outgoing mayor's comments, which is mine. And for those of you watching your watch, it's about 7 minutes, okay? Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Apologize for the not so elegant introductions, but again, we are so honored to have you all here with us this evening. This past year, it has truly been my honor and privilege to serve as your mayor. And it's been about a lot of collaboration with many great people who are working diligently to ensure that our city is prosperous, safe, and a truly great place to live and raise your families. It's because of the hard work of city staff that we have a safe place to live. We can drink clean water, your toilets flush okay, and you have fun community activities that bring us all together. It's because of the commitment of a lot of the people we just introduced, our committee members, our commissioners, all volunteers, all of whom who have contributed to many great advancements and projects moving forward this year. So thank you, and if you could please give them all a round of applause. It's also because of the bravery and leadership of our law enforcement officers and our fire department, the first responders. For those of you who don't know, our crime rates have been down all across the board and have steadily declined all year long. And our emergency responders are always there when you need them. So again, thank you to each and every individual serving our community. This past year, we have been united on many, many fronts. On those fronts where we've been united, we have been very successful. On those where we have been divided, we see the signs of disunity are deeply damaging to the community. As I step down from this honored position, I want to leave you with something that has resonated with me throughout the year. Millbrae is a great community, and we have the potential to be much greater. But we can only get there if we are united and work together to ensure we create an inclusive and thriving city that's comfortable and welcoming to all those who currently live here, but attractive to those who may be coming in the future business owners and visitors to our city. Whether the change we seek will be positive depends not only on our leaders, but all of us as individuals, and requires us at times to think beyond ourselves. We must remember that banding together for the best interests of the city is the most important thing we can do. Any problems we have can be solved when we pull together in a thoughtful and caring way as neighbors and fellow residents. There are encouraging signs of healing right before us when we focus on civility and respect for one another. What Abraham Lincoln once said is important even now. This is a time when we must engage together in calm and in large consideration, ranging far above personal and partisan politics. For more than 70 years, Millbrae's been a city. Millbrae was founded on an ideal of building a community that could flourish and prosper. Since then, believe it or not, our population has tripled. The Millbrae of today is diverse and thriving, a community which faces many challenges. Our diversity has come in many, many forms, in heritage, in culture, in religion, and in ideas. But in Millbrae, it has strengthened us through a wide array of opportunities. It has opened the door to interacting with one another and interacting with the world. It has developed Millbrae into a truly great city, but much more work must be done. We must strive each and every day to build on our past successes and face new and ever-changing challenges head-on. While we may not all agree on every aspect of every project that comes before us, we must come together to ensure that we do not become stagnant and miss out on opportunities that will help us be better than we are today. That doesn't mean that we have to pass and move forward on every project that's proposed. Watching TV last night, I saw a report out of San Jose, the Dearborn station, their transit station in San Jose. They've made decisions last night to make their transit center a Grand Central Station, knowing it will take 10 years to get there. They're making their they're making their once-in-a-lifetime shot really count. I'm still tragically disappointed that Bart and the majority of this city council did not have a similar vision for our station, which I believe could have been similar, a Grand Central Station or even a satellite terminal for the airport, because we have the largest intermodal center west of the Mississippi. From now on, we cannot and should not be pressured by outsiders or single-minded organizations. We must demand more. We must do what's best for the city and the region. It's time to step up and lead. We get only one shot every 50 years, and we can still do it right. We all have a fiduciary duty to demand higher quality projects, raise the bar for much greater things, and improve on things as we move forward for the best interests, safety, health, and welfare of our city. That must always come first. We saw firsthand this past year with the passage of the short-term rental ordinance. At times, it feels like we're divided because there are a few talking heads on social media. I want to assure you that we are not divided. Disagreement does not mean division. It means that we're doing our due diligence to understand all sides of an issue and then make decisions on the best course moving forward together. As we move forward into the new year, we must ask one another to be less critical and take the extra time to better understand the issues facing our city. I promise you, if we do that and voice your support or opposition to an issue at hand in a civil and respectful manner, we will see our city flourish and succeed even more so. I want to thank each and every one of my colleagues, city staff, our city commissioners and committee members, and all the residents of Millbrae. I'm humbled by the opportunity to have served as your mayor in 2018. If you want all the details on our success story, that's about a 20-minute video, State of the City, which should be on the website today. But we know that the press and social media tend to focus on other things. But we have accomplished so much this year. And I'm proud of each and every one of my council members, city staff, and all of the residents for being a part of that, coming together for all of that. So I want to thank each and every one of you. Let's be kind to one another. Happy holidays, everyone. And that's it. This is the time. Comments from other council members. Remember that last part I said, let's be kind. Yeah, I guess so. Doesn't say you can make comments about anything. Ms. Oliva.
So I had the pleasure of serving with Mayor Pappen, and it has been an incredible experience.
I'm not sure you can hear.
I've enjoyed it, Gina. I can call you Gina now?
Sure.
No more mayor?
You always called me that anyway, among other things.
Always kind about it. So I like what you said with regards to differences. And yes, I was one to go a different route with development that we both saw very differently. And I'm looking forward to making it together for the future of what everything brings us into that BART station, along with anything else that comes across the table.
That's right.
Because I will agree that our mayor, our former mayor, you're still there, right?
I'm still there.
Our mayor,
Another few seconds.
Gina Pappin, definitely has the best interest of Millbrae always in mind, and you've been a fighter for that, Gina, and I appreciate that, and I respect that very much.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Annie and I have had major drag-out fights on this stuff, but we still are working together for the betterment of the community. Mr. Holliver?
Well, thank you. This has been quite a year with so many different things going on in Millbrae. It really takes a certain type of leadership to be able to put all of those different items together and work forward with the team, work with the council, work with our staff, and with our community to make things happen. And again, we don't always agree on everything. We ultimately disagreed on the BART project, but I think we both agreed on many key components of that project and many key things that we worked on to make that project and other projects better for the community in Millbrae and to mitigate impacts as much as possible. I especially enjoyed working with the mayor on the Recreation Center subcommittee. Unfortunately, Measure II was not successful, but it was quite an experience, all the different stakeholders involved, and the way that she really took charge of that campaign when it seemed like nobody quite stepped up to do it. But to do all of that while being mayor takes an incredible amount of drive and determination, and we're a stronger city because of Mayor Pappin's leadership.
Thank you, Mr. Holliver. And I will say real quick, because it's of interest to everyone here, over 62% of the people did vote for Measure II. And that was one funding aspect of our recreation center. And we will be updating the community. Part of it is mentioned in the State of the City speech that I gave, and you don't want to hear it here. But we're going to be working with the Park and Rec and everyone in this community to ensure we bring recreation back to Millbrae. It is a priority for everyone. So thank you for bringing that up. Ms. Schneider?
Hi. I'm going to say it has been a very interesting year, and I've got a few comments later. But for me and my mom, who's in the audience, this was an additional difficult year with my dad coming down with cancer, if one comes down with cancer, and the 6 months that we did home care at home and losing my dad in August. But I'm very grateful that Mayor Pappin and Councilman Holliver attended the services, and the kindness that Gina and the council have shown in that time for that. It's been a really interesting time for family, and what you learn, I've been lucky to have both family members so late in life, and I appreciate that, and I thank you for the care. I also thank a number of you wrote lovely letters, how very important those letters were during this time. And I see you in the audience, and I thank you very much. I have one apology to the mayor because she created a subcommittee that was near and dear to what I love, even though I have 3 bicycles in my garage, but I have no bicycle helmet, so I can't get on it until we change that law. But the mayor wanted to get bike sharing done, and we haven't gotten that done, and I hope we'll get to continue working on that in the future. We're really close. Staff is working on that staff report, and we have former chair of the Park and Rec Commissioner Christopher Del Negro and the chief working on a bike rodeo coming up tentatively on May 4th. So we will go forward working on all things bicycle. But I do very much want to say that I couldn't take up a huge role in Measure II because it was time for family, and I appreciate what you all did during that time. Thank you.
Thank you. There's a podium?
Okay, Gina, this is your Gina, this is your third time as mayor? Finally, you got it right. No, I'm just kidding. Gina's right. This year, Councilman Holliber, former Mayor Holliber, was right. This has been a tumultuous year. And every year, every mayor has to deal with tumultuous time. And I remember my third day after you, there were 8 water main breaks. So is there anything you need to tell me right now? No. Okay, thank you. So I just want to thank you for your leadership and trying to bring everybody together, because that's the most important duties of the mayor, is to try to not only advocate what the council has decided, whether we agree with it or not, but we have to advocate strongly for what the council decides. But you also brought us together in trying to, for the better of Millbrae. And I don't think that's a small feat. So I like to give you a appreciation. And I also like to mention that there are 2 Mayor Pappins in this county, Gina's sister and herself. So that's a real rarity. And that Pappin name is a really important name, and I think that you really lived up to the name. And I really appreciate, and I think the city appreciates the fact that you are in our leadership, and you were a very strong leader, but you gave everybody a voice. So you're a timeless person, and we want to give you a gift to demonstrate our appreciation.
Just what I always wanted, tissue paper.
And in recognition of your job as mayor, the third time, I'm going to read some of this out. Mayor Pappin has taken great strides in achieving council goals, laying a foundation of enduring changes in the city. Whereas Mayor Pappin is part of approval of 2 transit-oriented developments, adding revenue enhancements that boost the budget, retain a company to evaluate formation of business improvement district, made significant headway to fix the city's aging infrastructure. Whereas Mayor Pappin worked tirelessly on the restoration of the recreation center and helped celebrate the grand opening on temporary Millbrae Community Center. And not to say that getting those portables in here was a big deal. Getting funding for it was a big deal. And also getting 62% is a huge deal. That shows the majority of the city approves of the, even 67% is a high hurdle. Mayor Pappin also, during her term, helped introduce a short-term residential rental ordinance that put in place strong policy to protect the community health, safety, and welfare, and yada, yada, yada.
There's no red, yellow light
And she told me that has a 10-minute timer. Yeah. At 10:30, 11 o'clock, it shuts you down, and he only gives you 3 minutes to.
That's it.
Yeah, right, 3-minute timer. And you said you didn't want anything on the wall, so we got you something on the wall.
Thank you. Wayne and I went to a rotation in San Carlos last night, and the exiting mayor gave everybody the 2-minute sand dial for the incoming and outgoing people. So that was very good. Okay, moving on. We did that already. Okay, and the gift. Okay, whoa, we're going fast. This is good. Okay, now I would like to congratulate and introduce council members who just won their election. 4-year terms. First and foremost, the oath of office and seating of council member Reuben D. Holliber, administered by his lovely wife, Amy Holliber.
I, Reuben,
I, Reuben Holliber,
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and to the Constitution of the State of California,
and to the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congrats.
Congratulations, Mr. Holliber. The oaths of office and seating of council member Annie E. Oliva, administered by her Stephen Marshall. Stephen, excuse me. Yes, okay, got it. Sorry, Stephen. His much younger brother, right?
Okay, you ready? Okay, raise your right hand, please. I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
That I'll support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies,
and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies,
foreign and domestic.
foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
That I'll bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
and to the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution of the State of California.
That I take this obligation freely
I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge
And I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
the duties of which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Okay, before we get to opening the nominations, we have two speaker slips. John McAllen? Yes, if you could come to the speaker here, the podium.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to say I used to be the past chairman of the Millbrae Beautification Committee in the 80s. One thing that I was speaking with Wayne Lee about was the trees that were cut down in the median on Richmond Drive. It's been, I think, over a year. Nothing's been done. We just have stumps. And you mentioned to me that PG&E had agreed that they had made a mistake when they cut those trees down. And I, in fact, called PG&E this week and asked them what was happening, and they said they were unaware of anything, of course. They took my report, they gave me a case number, and they said that this week they'd be taking pictures and would be getting back with the city council. I said, please go to city council, not to me, but I just wanted to have them know it's about time. It's ugly. Second of all, listening to whatever's been happening over the last year or so, I would hope that this evening that Ann Schneider would be nominated at least for vice mayor. I believe she deserves it, and I believe all of you have pledged this evening in front of the flag with your heart, with your hand over your heart, to protect and do what is right according to your pledge. So please do so. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Mr. McCulloch, I will clarify. We've been in strong negotiations with PG&E for over a year on those stumps. I'm not sure who you spoke to at PG&E. But if you'll talk to the city manager there, we've talked to their directors and everything, and they are going to have to really rehabilitate the entire center divide for cutting down the trees without permission, without a permit, and several other things. So go right ahead. I assure you, we've been working on that one. Jean Wong. Could you talk into the microphone, please? Thank you very much.
Good evening, Mayor Pappen. I think you're still mayor for the day, and council members. I'm Jean Wong, and I'm a resident of Millbrae and has been for more than 20 years. Tonight, you have the opportunity to prove to Millbrae that you are indeed leaders and are worthy of the positions you hold as Millbrae City Council members by nominating and approving Councilmember Ann Schneider for the position of mayor. Last year, you violated established Millbrae protocol by preventing Ms. Schneider's rightful rotation to the position of vice mayor. The reasons some of you provided to justify your actions were feeble, citing that you did not believe Ms. Schneider was qualified to be vice mayor. I would like to remind you that it is not your job to evaluate the performance of active council members. It is the citizens of Millbrae, through a sanctioned and legal public election process. And it's through this process in November of 2015 where Ms. Schneider received only 5 less votes than candidate Gina Pappen and 454 votes more than candidate Wayne Lee. Tonight, you must rectify the injustice and travesty that you have created through your shameful actions. We, the citizens of Millbrae, demand that you take the appropriate action tonight to seat Councilmember Schneider as mayor of Millbrae for 2019. Thank you.
No further comment slips. It's now the time where I declare the nominations for the office of mayor. Oh yes, Ms. Schneider, do you have a comment?
When you're done, just have a
Okay.
comment.
Declare the nominations for the office of mayor open. Discussion, nominations. Ms. Schneider?
As everyone knows, it's been a really interesting year. It's been a year where we've gotten a lot accomplished, and we didn't get the rec center accomplished, but I have faith that together we're going to get that done. There's no other way to say that it's been a rough year. But tonight we have an opportunity to move the city into a positive direction. Not that it wasn't positive in the past, but let's all admit that we've had some rough spots, and it's time for us to gather and to work together. We've all said things that I think maybe all of us regret. I know that in today's Daily Journal, I'm quoted on using a word that I don't think I've ever used before. And in that case, I apologize to the people of Millbrae for using a word in a quote. I don't remember saying it, but if I did, I apologize. And I'm sure that there are other people here who would take things back if they could. But this is a chance, tonight is a chance for a reset. It's a chance for us to work together, including everyone here in this room, because we're not going to rebuild the rec center without all of us pulling together on this. So tonight, with this reset, a chance to have a spirit of cooperation and an agreement that we're not always going to agree. And in fact, I personally believe that it isn't good when we all agree. We're all supposed to come with different backgrounds and different perspectives and bring different issues forward. So we're never going to all agree, and I think we're never all going to agree, getting over a cold. And I also think that that's a good thing. It's okay, as long as discussion is done politely and respectfully and in the best direction for the city and the people of Millbrae. With that, we are all professionals. We're all professionals in our fields. We're all professional elected officials. And tonight, I am asking for that opportunity that has been afforded all 5 of us to to get into the leadership cycle. So for tonight, if that means vice mayor, then I look forward to becoming the vice mayor of Millbrae. And I would like the support of the fellow council members. I look forward to working with each and every one of you on whatever projects those might be and on all the things that we need to make Millbrae a safe and successful community. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Nominations for mayor?
I'd like to nominate Councilmember Wayne Lee for mayor.
Have a nomination?
Second.
Second by Mr. Holliver. Okay. Any other nominations? Seeing none, take a voice vote, please.
Councilmember Holliber,
Aye.
Councilmember Oliva,
Aye.
Councilmember Schneider,
For the sake of Millbrae, aye.
Vice Mayor Lee,
Aye.
Mayor Pappen.
Aye.
The nomination for Wayne Lee as mayor passed unanimously.
Congratulations, Mr. Lee. There will be an oath of office.
I'd like to invite my family up to do the pledge of the oath of office. Mom, Nikki, Riley, Lita, Colonel Miller, Jenna. This is my son Nicholas, my mother Mimi, my niece Riley, my sister Lita, my uncle Michael Miller. So. You guys, yeah, so you tell me.
Raise your right hand. I, Wayne Lee, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California.
That I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
I do.
Congratulations.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so we're moving on to nominations for the office of Vice Mayor. Do I have any nominations for Vice Mayor?
We're going to pick a vice mayor tonight, people. So, any? And please, you got the...
Who do you want? we have to make a decision, folks.
I'll make a nomination for the sake of discussion.
Go ahead.
I'll nominate Reuben Holliber.
Okay.
I'll second that.
I know this is a difficult decision for everyone, and I... No, please sit down. I know this is a difficult decision for everyone, and I appreciate Ms. Schneider's comments tonight. We are all going to work together no matter what happens here. You know, audience, this is something the city council does with their colleagues. I know people want to have a different perception of that. We are committed to working together. That's the important thing. I was hoping that we could all have greater discussions on all of this moving forward, but that somehow didn't happen. We have,
So would,
you've got a
so
nomination.
do we have another nominations? Any other nominations?
I would nominate myself, but then I humiliate myself like I did a year ago. So I have tried to keep moving forward, but as I've stated in 2 Daily Journal articles now, if this city council can cast stones and not provide basis, so be it. In the new year, we'll be looking at new protocols.
No other nominations? I'm gonna take a-
I can nominate myself and I won't get a second, so I get humiliated again.
Do I have a second? Okay, that motion fails. Need a, what? You thinking, second? No? Okay, could I have the vote, please? Clerk?
This is the vote for Ruben Holliber as vice mayor.
Yes.
Councilmember Holliber,
Abstention.
Councilmember Oliva,
Councilwoman Oliva?
I'm going to abstain as well.
Councilmember Schneider,
No.
Well, then I think the
Yeah.
motion fails.
Okay, let's open it again.
Do I have another nomination for vice mayor? We have to make a nomination, folks. Excuse me. This is a council issue we need to resolve. We had an opportunity to speak, and please respect the council's time. Thank you.
Again, Mr. Mayor?
Yes?
I was hoping that we would have opportunities to discuss further visions. Regrettably, 2 council members made comments publicly in the newspaper, which prohibited me from talking to any other council members regarding this issue, and it would have been, I would have hoped, more productive. And in the future, if something like this is on the agenda, I would hope that my colleagues would not make comments like that, so we could have discussions that were constructive moving forward here. The lack of civility and respect for one another, the comments made in the paper were not something I felt reflective of this council and make this decision difficult. So we are committed to working together.
I'm looking for a nomination.
Mr. Mayor, can we have a reconsideration of the prior motion?
If somebody
can-
would like
I'll
to,
nominate Ruben Holliver for the reconsideration.
I second.
Well, just to clarify my previous vote, I have not been campaigning for this, I have not been asking for this, but I feel that the period of time that we had last year without a vice mayor was highly disruptive and really distracted the city and the community from the goals and the issues that we're working on. A house divided cannot stand, and I would be willing to accept the nomination, and if that requires me to make a vote for it, I will do that. But just to explain my abstention on the previous vote is because I'm not voting for. I was not asking for this or promoting myself in any way for this position.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Okay, the writing's already on the wall, but I'm happy to announce that I'm going to be working on a series of community discussions on the topic of bullying and civil discourse, and doing it with a young woman that has been my pleasure to know since she and her family first moved to Millbrae 4 years ago. She's working on a guest editorial that will be appearing in the Daily Journal shortly. And we will be working on a discussion because there are always different sides of the story. And when people Google my name, what they hear are my fellow council members saying things about me that may or may not be validated with truth or not. I will admit that one of the things that I never did with these council members, because they're all friends, because they're all legacy candidates with long relationships with each other, is never really want to talk to them about issues, because I never knew if they would then turn around and try to come back and get me on a Brown Act violation. I talked to many other city councils because I haven't had a council member here to talk about issues with and to learn how to do things, because this council has been unfriendly and frankly horrible since the day I was sworn into office. So yeah, we'll work together because we've got some really great things to get to work on. We're going to get to work on redevelopment. We're going to get to work on the general plan, the specific plan, on parking plans, on safety, on so many things that are really the issues that you elected us for. And my hope, my desire, as someone with 30 plus years working in the environmental field, is to work on climate change and the actions we need to do to be reducing carbon and to make our communities resilient to things like fires. You can't get resilient from an earthquake. Well, you can, but those are the goals of mine for the next year. This council will do what this council will do. And I want to thank the public for all of the tremendous support you have provided me in the last year. And I welcome you in joining me on forming a committee to take the rotation of mayor and vice mayor out of the hands of politicians and putting it into your hands. So you'll be hearing from me in January on this, and I look forward. It'll be a measure, it'll go on the ballot, and we'll collect the signatures, and we'll stop this that not only humiliates me, but makes Millbrae look like a laughingstock, not only to the county of San Mateo, but to the entire Bay Area. So I am sorry, the people of Millbrae, that you're going through this again. So be it.
Thank you for your comments. Can I have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Holliber,
Aye.
Councilmember Oliva,
Aye.
Councilmember Schneider,
No.
Vice Mayor Lee, Mayor Lee,
Councilmember
Councilmember Pappen,
Aye.
Mayor Lee.
Aye.
The nomination for Ruben Holliber as vice mayor passed with a vote of 4-1. Councilmember Schneider dissenting.
Whoever would like to do it. I can do the shorter version.
This is Richard Holliber, president of the San Mateo County College Board.
I have another motion. I want to rescind my vote for Mayor Lee. Can I do that? Mayor Lee has been walking around the city of Millbrae calling me a racist, and yet these are the people with the skills to become your leaders. So.
Okay.
Okay.
You proceed, please.
Is this live? Okay.
Yeah.
Please raise your right hand. I, do you, Ruben Holliber, solemnly swear or affirm that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and to the Constitution of the State of California, and that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which you are about to enter?
I do.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you. Okay, so comments from, I'm going to comment last, so comments from the council members. Hang on a second. No, that's my comments. I'm going to keep my comments short, but I want to allow the new council members. Do you have any comments to?
I might have a few comments.
Okay, go ahead.
I really could appreciate how I could really appreciate how we started this meeting with the strengths with differences. And running an election this time around was very personal. It got very personal. And I am very grateful for the votes and the nomination and winning the election. But I'm also very grateful for those that didn't vote for me, because I think I'm going to take my strength from what they had to say to me or what they have to say to me. And I'm going to take that personal and make it interpersonal. And I want to grow, and I want to be successful for the city of Millbrae, for those that I didn't get the support from, because those are the ones that are going to teach me to make Millbrae even better on a path for this diversion and a path for the strengths that are different from me. So I thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to do the best job possible I can for you. And as our new city manager, my phone is available as well. I welcome criticism, differences, and opinions. And I hope that that could be welcomed by myself as well. Thank you, everybody in Millbrae. I am very grateful for this job and very humbled by it, like yours as well. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Holber.
Thank you all for coming tonight. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve as your council member for the next 4 years. I'm honored to once again have the opportunity to serve and for the confidence that you have placed in me. But I view this confidence as having been placed not just in me, but in the council as a whole and in the direction our city is moving. I've enjoyed working with this council and incorporating the different perspectives of each member. Regardless of the issues on which we agree or disagree, we must all work together to help Millbrae prosper and to continue providing an excellent quality of life for all residents. This excellent quality of life is what I love about Millbrae and why I wanted to serve on the City Council. I envision Millbrae as a vibrant economic center with a small town feel. To maintain these qualities, we must embrace economic development with a watchful eye. Carefully planned development near the transit center and along the El Camino corridor is necessary to generate revenues to support our vital services. But we must continue listening to community concerns and negotiating with developers to ensure that projects provide community benefits and long-term economic value to the city. Unfortunately, Measure II to rebuild the recreation center did not pass. It received 62% yes votes, falling short of the 2/3 requirement for passage. The silver lining in this result is that it is clear that most Millbrae residents want a new center. It is now our charge to make that happen. While our temporary structure is warm and inviting, it is not suited for long-term use. Our subcommittee and city staff have already begun working to identify funding sources for the new center. But the longer the process takes, the more costly the project will be. Rebuilding the center will be my top priority over the next 4 years. Millbrae has been challenged by an aging infrastructure system. Many of our roads are in poor condition, and many water and sewer lines are 60 or 70 years old. In recent years, the council made the difficult decisions to increase water and sewer rates to invest in the necessary improvements to our system. That investment is already paying off, as an 8-year consent decree stemming from sewage flowing into the bay ended last month. Many thanks are in order to our city staff and legal team for the countless hours of dedication and negotiation required to get the city in compliance. We will continue investing diligently in our infrastructure, with over $9 million budgeted for road repairs in the next 2 years. These investments are critical for our public safety and for ensuring an excellent quality of life for generations to come. Serving as your council member has been a tremendous honor for me. It has been an extraordinarily rewarding experience to be able to give back to my hometown in this role. Public service is a value that has been instilled in me by my family. Growing up, I watched my parents both run for office several times. It seemed like every year was an election year in the Holliber household. But watching my mother serve on the council was particularly special to me. While I never had ambition to run for office myself, I gained great insight about the challenges of the job, the duties and expectations placed on you by your community, the council-manager relationship, and the need to build consensus as a team. The balance of providing excellent services while maintaining fiscal responsibility. These are challenges I have worked through over the past 5 years. I know our decisions will not be any easier over the next 4. I believe that Millbrae's best days are ahead of us, and I thank you for placing your confidence in me and in this council. I'm heartened to know that most voters feel the city is on the right track and disagree with the negative views that percolate online. I look forward to continuing to serve the city with my fellow council members for the betterment of Millbrae. I wish our oncoming mayor a successful year. Thank you all, and have a wonderful night and a wonderful holiday season.
Is there any other comments from any council members? No?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, thank you. So it's getting close to 8 o'clock. I know I promised a lot of you to, the reception starts at 8 o'clock. So the reception will be at the 16 Mile House next to Wells Fargo. What I will do is have a short comment period, and then I will let the room clear, and then we'll have our public comments.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
So my comments are very short. First of all, this is my second time this rodeo as mayor, and I appreciate I'm honored by the support by the council members and by Councilwoman Snyder's vote. I know that it's incumbent on me to provide the glue to make sure that we all work together. And I promise Councilwoman Snyder that I will try to get her and the council as a whole wanting to get her to the place that she wants to be. I think we all agree to that. So I will, I do want to apologize for saying things in public that I've said in the past on these council meetings. And I regret saying those things. I didn't think it's a good idea for any of us to say anything to in a public that would make a council member look bad, and that's never ever something that's good for any council. As a council, if one council member is not happy, then the rest of the council looks bad, and the city's citizens suffer, and the other cities see what we're doing, and they don't think that we're doing our job either. So we all need to come together and do something together. Running in a public, running and being in a public office is very difficult. We get criticisms from left and from right. We can never please anybody. So somebody's going to be upset. And that's part of being an elected person. In that respect, I'd like to thank Yo-Yo Zhu and John Chung for putting yourself out there and running really good races and trying to bring subjects that are really important to the city out in front. I think you both deserve a hand. As always, we don't always agree on, and I fight with my council members all the time. I get yelled at by former Mayor Gina Pappin all the time. But we all come together at the end and figure out that the most important thing is the camaraderie and the fact that we're all trying to do the same thing for the city, just like every one of you are here, because you care about what's going on in the city, and you care about the people who run the city. So I'd like to thank you for that. I have a quote here that was read at another council meeting that I think is very applicable and tells you a little bit about what we have to go through. It's a quote by Theodore Roosevelt. "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes short again and again, because there is not effort without error and shortcomings. But those who does not actually strive to do the deed, who knows the great enthusiasm, the great devotion, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows at the end of the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be those cold, timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. So I challenge my council members to be bold this year. We have a lot of challenges, including a deficit that's coming up. We have many things to do other than just cuts. I'm hoping that we will find ways to bring our revenue up rather than going back to the citizens and asking for more money, because I'm pretty sure our citizens are pretty tired of getting taxed and having to pay higher and higher water rates and higher tax rates. So I challenge my fellow council members this year and just realize that the mayor is only as good as the council. They cannot do this. This mayor is only just it's just a person who runs the meetings, and we all know that. So my appreciation to the council, my appreciation to the staff, and I appreciate all the support that the citizens have given us. So with that, thank you very much. So for those people, I'm going to allow a few minutes for those people who would like to leave to go to reception, because it's a walk away, and then we'll resume.
Tell them what comes next.
And then we're going to have public comments. So anybody who wants to stay for public comments, please do so. Thank you. So anybody who needs to get to the reception, I know some people need to get to reception.
Where's Gwen? You did good job. Very good. No, we'll see her in a minute. Thank you. Nice job.
Are we adjourned?
Now,
or are
nice
we
to
not?
see you.
Are we adjourned?
Okay. Okay, let's go. Hey, we gotta resume our meeting. Hello? Hello? Hello, we gotta resume our meeting.
Thank you, Jean. That was very appreciated and very
Hello, okay, we gotta go. Hey.
You were lovely.
We gotta do our meeting. Let's go. We'll see you soon. Thank you. All right, let's go.
Good news is that with the city manager, there's still some.
Okay, thank you. How are you? Thank you, appreciate that. Thank you. We'll see you at reception, okay? Okay, we have to resume our meeting. Thank you. We'll see you at the reception.
Okay, until this farce is over. You just have to go sit down, Mom.
Councilwoman Oliva. Thank
Just
you.
go sit down and then we can go.
Okay, so the first speaker is Win. Win, do you want to come up and speak?
Get him under order. Quiet.
Please have a seat. Please have a seat. Please have a seat. Thank you. We got to resume. We got 2 speakers and we'll be done. Thank you.
Hello, I'm here tonight to talk about your water, and this is really important. On KQED about a week ago, they had a documentary called Water from the Wilderness, and you should all check it out because they'll replay it. Anyway, at the end of this thing, they talk about how San Francisco got water, how they built the Hetch Hetchy pipes in the reservoir. But Mayor Dreckmeyer, who's the former mayor of Palo Alto, he's the guy, he's in the video, he actually put on the thing to tear down the Hetch Hetchy Dam. He put that on the ballot, and everybody voted against it. But now he's talking to all these kids, talking about recycled toilet water and how you need to know where your water is coming from. And at the end of this video, everybody that's been on that Bosqua water board knows that most of the cities are going toilet to tap. And what's bad about it is that Jerry Brown signed a bill last year to liquefy dead bodies and pour them down the drain.
Wait, excuse me, Win, can you close that door, please? Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Okay, it says, you can look this up, sfgate.com. California just made it legal to liquefy corpses, and it was AB 967. Now, Mr. Hirschman's here, and he works with Jerry Hill, so you need to talk to him of why he voted for this, because this went through unanimously. You got to check it out. Nobody didn't vote for this. They wanted this. So if we liquefy dead bodies, and just remember, you know that romaine lettuce with the E. coli in Monterey? They use recycled toilet water down there, right? So when they're putting recycled toilet water on our crops, this is depopulation. But here's the good part, is that this is a scary thing. Trump signs the CISA Bioweapons Immunity Act. So they can put a virus or something into your drinking water and give people diseases and force everybody to get vaccines. In 2020, under this New World Order Agenda 21, they want everybody to have vaccines, and these vaccines are toxic. And you better start reading about it, because if they do this forced vaccine in 2020, they can put any kind of disease. Just listen to this. This is on YouTube. And the guy will tell you what they can do and put in your water and give you tuberculosis. They can do all kinds of things and force you to get a vaccine. So this is one of the other things is my big pet peeve is Mr. Quirk over where I live. He's one who co-authored the bill to put the 5G small cell towers up and all this. And anyway, Dr. Wolf explains 5G rollout now in 30 cities in the US, and scientific studies claims huge health risk. These things not only sterilize you, they increase diabetes, and the radiation from it causes brain tumors and all kinds of cancer, but it causes poor people to be suicidal. And what this lady, her name was Dr. Sharon Goldberg, she testified in front of the Senate, and now the Senate's asking for answers. They want to know about these tests, and they've done them all over the world. They know this stuff's bad.
Okay, next person is Yo-Yo You.
But sign an ordinance to get this stopped in your neighborhoods. Don't put them in.
Test. All right.
You might want to raise it higher. So you can,
Really? Okay.
Maybe you don't have to stoop down. No, just angle it higher. There you go.
Okie dokie. Test. Okay. All righty.
Okay. You're green lighted.
All right. Thank you, Mayor Lee, and good evening, everyone. As most of you know, my name is Yo-Yo, and I was a first-time candidate running for City Council. My grassroots campaign ended up earning the support of 1 in 4 voters in Millbrae, and with 3,500 votes, we had the 3rd highest vote count in the history of Millbrae City Council elections. The residents who voted for me were voting for change and for someone who would bring common sense solutions to problems that continue to plague our city. I am internally grateful to those who took a chance and believed that I could deliver. So thank you very much for that, for everybody. During this campaign, especially in the later days, my opponents and supporters launched a vicious and callous smear campaign based on fake news and total lies, targeting me and my family. I asked both my fellow candidates to come together and set an example by denouncing this type of dirty politics as unacceptable. Regrettably, they both refused to, and I wasn't surprised, for these days, it's 1,000 times easier to vilify and disparage your opponents by proxy than to take real responsibility for your actions and record and to run a campaign focused on the real issues, just as the president. I want to address just a few of the utterly absurd lies told about me, lies that to anyone with common sense would seem completely ridiculous. I have not been involved in illegal offshore gambling. My father, who is my biggest supporter, has never taken out a restraining order against me. I was not responsible for the cancellation of test scores at Mills, and the superintendent of the high school district has corroborated this fact. I have not received multiple speeding tickets and have a perfect driving record, which was thoroughly checked when I was recently employed by a government agency. Amidst this disgusting character assassination campaign, I am proud to say that I ran a fair and honest campaign. There is still a lot of work to be done. Our public safety needs urgent attention. The roads need fixing. Water bills need lowering. The downtown requires new businesses and leadership. And the city must deliver on the promise of a recreation center for our community. However, we are not going to go far as a city without honesty, integrity, and honor. We should be working together through dialogue and transparency to find things that we agree on, not what we disagree on. I invite members of this council to meet me halfway to reconcile our differences, because I will work with anyone, including those who have wished me ill in the past, to overcome challenges and to help deliver positive and meaningful change to this city. I hope that my work here is just getting started. Remember, when they go low, we go high. Congratulations to Ruben, Annie. Thank you for your service, former Mayor Pappen, and congratulations to Mayor Lee. Happy holidays, everyone, and thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Let's see. Yeah. Feels like I'm a mayor in training wheels. Okay, so we're not doing any comments. So we'd like to close the memory of Nina Chapin. So we'd just like to. And also, we'd like to thank everybody for coming and supporting the city of Millbrae and the receptions at the 16 Mile House right next to Wells Fargo on Broadway. Thank you. Good night.